All right, what's up, everybody in the BurnOut the BadAss Facebook group? What's happening this morning? It's Adam here with Move, Think, Smile. We've got something very, very special for you with the episode today. With me, I have this guy from literally the middle of Kansas. His name is Chad Deines. He's one of our clients, and he has had some miraculous, just absolutely outstanding improvements in a very, very short period of time, like measurable results turning burnout into badass. Chad, good morning. What's happening?
Good morning. I'm smiling and enjoying things this morning.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. You got your shirt on, man. It's so good. Yeah, this is a whole different thing. We'll talk about this in a little bit. I'm going to let Chad, do most of the storytelling. When he came to us, he was at 309 pounds. Was what, a triple X or a quad X shirt? Big shirts, right?
LT,
Yeah,
large.
okay. And we've gotten him down at least one shirt size and hopefully two more here pretty soon. But what's really interesting is Chad is an agronomist. Now, Chad, can you tell people what that is?
Okay, my job is to help my clients grow the best crops they can with the least amount of inputs and maximize return on investment and do that. So basically, what I do is I've got to think of all the bad things that could happen and help prevent that and have backup plans if they start, the disease starts or whatever. So a lot of times, over doing this 20 some years, in my mind, I basically just get trained to think of all the negative things that could happen. Well, it kind of stuck, and I
Yeah.
wasn't getting out of that. I mean, I was getting okay in my personal life, dealing with people. Every time I was, the phone would ring, I'm like, oh no, what's wrong now? And it didn't even have to be a client. It just got that mind frame got stuck,
So
and I was focused.
you work with farmers.
Yes,
You work with farmers. Okay, so just so everybody knows, Chad is
sorry.
basically he's like a farming consultant.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, it's basically a farming consultant and bring stuff in. And what he was getting into, and Chad, you can elaborate on this. Like your job just was you weren't happy, were you?
No, I got stuck in thinking negative everything, trying to prevent it and fix it, and it just overwhelmed me, and so I didn't take care of myself health wise. That's why my weight got so big. I wasn't exercising, and it just kind of I didn't take much time off, and it just made my thinking pretty poor, and it was all tied together. So
All right. So what was going on? Like when you came to us 8 weeks ago, and we first chatted on the phone, you were just you were kind of in despair, but you're also just really mad and angry.
yeah, I was basically pissed off at the world. I mean, I was upset I let myself get this big and out of shape. I mean, here I live out in a nice part of the world where it should be easy to exercise, enjoy things, and be in shape, and I could hardly walk a half mile without being winded, and I was just frustrated. I wasn't happy about anything. I was real a bear cat to get along with. I mean, basically, is all right. He does a good job, but everybody just kind of the waters parted when I walked in the building. Everybody just went to the far corner and hoped I didn't have to talk to them,
All right.
And I got some really good customers that stuck with me and kind of said, "Dude, you're getting pretty crabby and hard to deal with. You better figure a way out, and you're there's some things going on you need to work on upstairs or in your heart because you're just really, really unhappy." Coworkers noticed it. Coworkers called me out on it about that time too. Um, Took me a little bit to that sink in. It hurt because I thought I'd poured my soul into my job and my life, and so here I'd let my physical well-being and mental being. It cost me all that because I wasn't learning how to take a break and take care of myself, and it just spiraled downward. And it was getting to the point I was either going to need to quit or I was going to be asked to quit because I mean, when all your coworkers go to hide in the building when you walk in, that's not a good way to be, and it caused a lot of grief at home. I mean, sure it was horrible to be around too at the house too when I come home.
Yeah. And so how was what was that? How is that affecting your marriage?
It wasn't good. I mean, she was very unhappy and I was either, and we're just kind of you know, So something had to give, and I knew it was me because I was the one starting it, and so I was trying to figure out, in the past I'd done some things, I'd lost a bunch of weight, probably wasn't the best way. It helped a lot, but it wasn't totally what I all needed, and I gained it back within a year and a half. And so I was needing something where I could put it all together and work my. That's why I come to you guys
Hmm.
for the help
All
because
right.
I needed to do something, and plus, I probably should check my blood pressure. It's usually through the roof, and I just haven't done that because I was just so frustrated. I didn't want to hear another thing that I'd done wrong.
Right. And so some of the side effects that you're experiencing, I mean, you had the weight gain, right? And then
Hmm.
because of that, you've got your commercial truck license, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
because your weight got up there, what is it? They automatically put you on medications because you hit a certain weight.
Well, weight and blood pressure. Yeah, when you get to a certain size, you're stuck on blood pressure medicines, um, the cholesterol medicines, and all that too.
Regardless if you need them or not, just when you hit that weight.
Yeah, basically the way I understood it, or the way they told me. So,
Okay. And so you had that going on, you didn't have a lot of energy. And what were you doing to cope?
well, I'd eat crap, kind of binge eat, and basically walk around and growl at everybody. I was got to the point I wasn't coping very well at all. I mean, I love motorcycling. I wasn't even enjoying that. I wasn't enjoying nothing. It was just kind of like, uh, is this, this, I wasn't enjoying anything. So I was like, is this all the better it gets? This sucks. I mean,
Right.
royally sucks.
And
And
and you were in your wasn't your sleep patterns were being affected too, right?
oh yeah, I could fall asleep at the drop of a hat because I was so tired. But then, in about 2 hours I was up and would be up 3 or 4 hours, and then I could fall asleep right about the time the alarm goes back off.
And what was going through your head when you wake up?
It's like, oh, I got to get this done and that done, and why, how's come I, doing all working this? I was trying. I thought I was working harder, but I basically was kind of in a fog, and I was, putting in the time, but I wasn't getting nothing done because my thinking wasn't clear anymore because just my health was bad, and then that caused my attitude to stay bad. So if you've ever had that where you kind of think you're working hard and then look at the clock and 2 hours later you hadn't got nothing done,
Yeah.
and that was really affecting things at work because I need to get a lot done at certain times, especially after coming in the spring with planting season and stuff. I need to be on top of my game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you guys get really super busy, right?
Yes, we do.
Like insane busy. So we had the weight gain, and I remember when we chatted on the phone, you're like, "I'm coming home and I'm eating a meal for a family of four."
Yeah, I had very poor eating habits. I'd get busy and I got a really intense focus on stuff, and I'll forget to eat.
Right.
And then during the day, and then all of a sudden when I get home, I'm starving, and I would just it was ungodly the amount of food I could eat put down in one setting, and it was I don't need to eat that much, and it wasn't necessarily good food because I mean my wife tried to help and cut back what she'd cook, and then I would go get a jar of peanut butter and some Hershey's bars and eat that, and that's just not good.
And you were doing that like to help like alleviate the stress, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
food and junk food like that was how I thought I was trying to find a happy place.
Right. And there was alcohol too, right?
Yeah, at times I would, I like if it was I knew I didn't have to go to work on it rained, I'd go grab like a 6 pack of beer and it would be gone within an hour. That wasn't good. So
That's quick.
and yeah, and the alcohol probably would have stayed more of a deal, but I got gout really bad, and so I went to an arthritis doctor, and he said, Chad, I know your family history, and guess what? You have accomplished it. You've drank a lifetime supply of alcohol by the time you were in your 40s, so enough. Because he
Okay.
said, you're not going to feel any better. You're just going to make it worse and flare and keep the arthritis going.
Interesting. Okay, so the gout and arthritis was coming up from the alcohol. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. And I know you had another thing I remember we talked about. It's like you had all this vacation time, but you were just not taking it.
Yeah, I have 4 weeks of vacation and I didn't hardly use a week of it.
And why?
I just thought I had to be here, and and my mind, I was, like I said, I wasn't getting all my stuff accomplished in a timely manner, so I had to stay that much longer and that much later to finish it because of the brain fog. And then I just had a lack of trust issue, and I've got a lot of really good coworkers that, and stuff, but I just never did take the time, and I didn't have to take a week at a time. I should have taken a day at a time and just, relaxed, chilled, went for a walk, went for a motorcycle ride, went for a bicycle ride, something.
That never
Just
happened.
no, I just keep going, and even on like rainy days, they'd find me in the office attempting to struggle through something, and it was just I was just got to the point. It was kind of like that car that you put bad gas in, and it was sputtering along, and it was trying all it could, but it just wasn't going anywhere fast, and then that was making a snowball effect everything.
Oh yeah, for sure, right? So, and what were you worried about happening?
Well, I was either worried about, well, I also, I get agitated very easily. So I was either worried about a stroke or having a heart attack. And I actually went on a trip with some friends, and a couple years ago when I lost weight the first time, we were going to go hiking to go fly fishing, and everyone, including the guide, was worried about me having a heart attack. And that's when I realized, okay, I'm really huge.
Okay, that's
I
when that
proved
was a
them
year and a
all.
half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so got that all taken, tried it and stuff, but then so we got that taken care of, I guess. Now, uh, is getting my mind that I was being unhealthy, but I just wasn't getting stuff done. So I was worried about losing my clients, losing my job, losing my wife, the whole 9 yards. I was at the point, so I actually had come up with a plan B. Since it looked like I'd made such a big mess of it, I was going to go be a homeless person in Hawaii. I
That was
had
your
a
plan B.
Yeah, I had a detailed plan, and about 2 weeks before I called you, one of my good friends in the industry I work in, they go, dude, you need to go do something because you are. How close are you? Have you decided to go to Hawaii yet? And I said, yeah, pretty much. They go get go ask somebody for some help first because that's not going to answer.
Right.
It's not a good answer. Your unhappiness will follow you to a beautiful place, and you don't want to do that.
And what's interesting is you actually took a trip to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, that's how I had a detailed plan.
Right, but but that vacation and what's amazing, guys, is Chad is like a top. He does a lot of sales too for the company that he works with, and he's one of the top sales guys there, and he wins these prizes all the time. And you won a trip to Hawaii, right?
Yes.
And you got there, but did you really enjoy it that much? I remember you were telling me like you were getting up early in the morning and like doing work and
I didn't relax. Yeah, I was up. I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be, with the time change, I'd be emailing back and forth and on the phone, and I basically had to go out in the middle of the pool area so I wasn't bothering people. In the
right.
pool, people were cleaning around me because I was on the phone and I was worried about this, and I was sending emails, and I didn't want to wake my wife up. So.
Yeah. And then, I remember when we first chatted, one of the things you said to me that hit really hard is like, my biggest fear is, becoming crippled and,
Yeah,
and just and not being able to do anything and dying with all these dreams and not having any memories.
yeah. I did not want to add life to my years. I wanted to add years to my life. I wanted to have fun and do stuff. I just didn't want to be here, do things. Um, one of the reasons I agreed to talk to Adam, I want to try to help other people. So I thought, I didn't know where to turn, and this is, being burned out is something you really aren't proud of and you don't talk about. Um, Other than saying, hey, trying to change a badge of honor that I'm stupid and I give all my vacation back to the company and I work 24/7. And that's just a way of trying to reframe that you're being silly. So I needed to figure a way out of this and stuff. So, and I, it's so, I'd get close, I was all proud of myself. I got to, trip to Hawaii and stuff, and enjoyed it for a little bit. It was neat, but it's pretty sad when you're on a vacation like that and you're using that for figuring out an escape plan for a plan B.
Right.
You
Escape
know,
from life. Yeah, an escape from life plan. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's a sad way to enjoy a vacation like that. I mean, to me it is and stuff. And I just didn't want to just. I thought, man, all I'm going to do is work myself to death.
Right. Right. Okay. So cool. So let's talk about, what was that breaking point? What made you pick up the phone and give us a call?
Um, well, I saw your guys' stuff on Facebook, and then when it said you both had been burned out, because I thought about doing some other kind of help other, and I thought, I know people that went to different ways, and I figure I'm goofy enough on my own. I did not want to try any of the drugs. Plus, I didn't like the side effects of the ones for the blood pressure and the uh, cholesterol and all that. So I didn't think something, and when you listen to the medicines, which I know can help some people, it just bothered me the list of side effects.
Right.
When it was like, wow, are you gaining anything or not and stuff? And I know with my job with using products for plants, you can go overboard the wrong way and bother them too. So, but so when you guys both said you'd been burned out
Hmm.
and tried a couple times, and it took that kind of sunk in that at least I felt somebody could relate. I could relate to them, and I knew that, and to me that made a big difference.
Okay. And when you were talking about the medications you didn't want to go on, what are you talking about, like antidepressants or other stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
antidepressants.
Antidepressants. You didn't want to go on this. Had you ever tried this before?
No, I had not.
Okay, but you're on that breaking point of having to get some.
I was needing to either go to therapy or get on that kind of stuff. I mean, it was suggested that I go do that, and I just didn't want to do that because had some friends that tried it, and they it helped them get to a place where they could get up, but they said while they were on it, it was life just kind of made it was blah. They didn't have any ups or downs.
Yep.
It just kind of made everything level, and that wasn't what I was looking for. That meant I could just keep working and not do anything and not enjoy life.
Exactly. So the cost we're talking about is, you gain so much weight, you automatically got put on medications that you didn't want to be on because of your commercial driver's license, right? You just had to have them because you had that license in order to keep it. You could barely walk a half mile. You got up to 309 pounds. Things were crabby at home. Things were crabby at work. You knew you were a walking heart attack waiting for a stroke to happen. And your plan B was to basically stow away on a ship and go to Hawaii and become a hobo. And
Yep.
that was what was going through your head. You knew that wasn't a good idea. And you just didn't want to be that guy who just ended up not being able to live the rest of his life, like basically on a respirator or whatever it is, just watching everybody go by until you hit that day. And so
Yep.
we got on the phone and we chatted, and you like the fact, we know that you like what you heard. We told you about kind of our burnout story, and and how it took us about 5 or 6 years to really fix it, and how we were dedicated to shortening that time span for people, and that we really want to make the world a better place. And something in your head went, I need to do this.
Yes, exactly. It was like, you know, uh, I just what I was doing was not working at all, and I thought I tried different things, so knew I needed to reach out to someone. And your plan really appealed to me, and so far as the results, it's worked a lot. My coworkers, the ones that were super tired of me, are actually complimenting me and pointed out to some of my friends, do you know how much weight he's lost to date? Which is 30 pounds.
And 8 weeks,
So,
and that's in 8 weeks, guys. So we're talking
yeah,
about 30 pounds in 8 weeks, and this is without any special diet or any special gym or anything like that, right? Just
right.
with health strategies that we're teaching you.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing. I didn't have any I didn't have to go buy a big gym membership. I didn't have to go buy this, that, or the other. I already had a bicycle, so I do a little bit of. I got to where I'll walk, 2.5 miles and go ride 2.5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even been in when the weather's good, because our weather is very severe. It changes from one extreme to the other. But there was one day I did that twice in a day, and I feel great. And I can do a lot of things I used to not be able to, and I've only lost 30 pounds. I'm still a big guy, but I just feel awesome in the energy I got. And then my mood's better. My massage therapist asked me, "What are you doing? You are not like it's trying to." When she used to say, "You're kind of like trying to massage a board." I mean,
You were
you
so
don't.
tense.
Yeah, it's so tense, and my back couldn't stay in because my muscles were just always standing knot, and so it made me really miserable. Um, I I actually was there for a while. Right before I started, I was taking 8 ibuprofen in the morning at one time just to be able to stand to go to work.
Oh my God.
And so she goes,
8?
8
Oh my God. Okay.
before I'd even noticed, and that's very unhealthy.
That's 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen, right?
Yes,
Oh man. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that. I did not know
yeah.
that. Wow.
And so she goes, your energy's way better. It's positive energy, not negative, and you are starting to relax more. She goes, I don't know what you're doing, but please keep it up. And I had some friends go, you're actually decent to be around. You're starting to become unbearable. And I actually found it, so my mood's changing, and I've, learned a lot of neat things, and I've got some guys, some of my, I found out who my true friends are, and they all throughout this, and they basically said, you know, every time we talk to you, it's getting better. You used to be just like, oh no, what does he want now? Love him dearly, but I don't like, I'm not in the mental state to talk to somebody that negative and down and pissed off.
Right. 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 All right. So people started noticing. So your massage therapist noticed, gave you a bunch of compliments, and the people around you, and even you went to some family events, right? And people were noticing there.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I went to deal with some of my extended family, and they go, "You lost some weight," and then what they couldn't believe is I wasn't chowing down on a dessert, and I wasn't drinking a bunch of beer, and I wasn't overeating, and then they're like, "What's going on?"
And you weren't. And the cool thing is you weren't miserable not doing those things.
No, actually, I wasn't, and it was kind of cool. Since I've been doing all this stuff, I found a lot of support. I mean, people that were scared to talk to me because I was so grumpy and pissed off. You know, like one day somebody brought donuts and I stopped and looked at them right when I first started, and I heard, "Hey, I thought you started your diet. You sure you want to do that?" And so we actually kind of have fun with it now, and I wear suspenders a lot of times just because I haven't went and because I want to lose a bunch more weight, so I'm going to try to get all the goodie out of my jeans I can, but it's hard to keep my pants up, and I pulled some out that are 3 sizes smaller than when we started this that I can wear now very comfortably. So,
So down from 309 to 279 in 8 weeks. And how's this been affecting things at home?
been a lot. We both smile again. We both talk to each other.
I,
Um,
now didn't
it's,
you
it's
didn't you go and look for the hole punch so you could cut another notch in your belt so you could pull it tighter, and you realized that there was a different color in there?
Yeah, I noticed that somebody else had been uh, working on their weight too and eating healthier. And so, yeah, we both had to take 3 notches out of our belt a couple weeks ago.
That's awesome. So your wife is smiling more too. That was. I remember you telling us that last week. We're like, what? This is awesome. So, the things that you're doing, the positive vibes that you're bringing, and this is not necessarily about weight loss. This is about all of you, right?
Yeah,
We went in, we worked on all, every cylinder of your engine, not just one or two of them. Kind of the whole health, and it's bleeding out to your wife, even though she's not officially like in the program.
and I've got a lot of people. They started, asking questions about diet or just trying something different, and maybe it's part of it. I'm waking up to it now, or maybe I'm more observant because I'm not in the fog. But there's a lot more people I noticed around wanting to do that kind of thing. So it's kind of fun to be with it instead of be the guy they shun because I was so crabby and bitter.
Right.
So it's kind of making a lot of fun.
That's really cool. Now, another number that I want to throw out here, and this is something that I found absolutely just amazing. We're really proud about how quickly we're able to get results for people. And this is something, and Chad, this is something you posted in our secret group, and I'm going to share it. This is from your Fitbit app. Okay.
Yep.
And this is the picture, and it's up right now. And you could see on about February 14th, his resting heart rate was at 86, which is common for people in that weight category. And then within, it looks like 13, maybe 14 days, you got it down to 60. We got it down to 64,
Yeah,
right?
and I checked my average for this last week. It's down to 58.
And you're down into the 50s now. That's
Yes.
that's re- that's really, that's really uncommon, because we still have work to do. We're not done with Chad yet, right? We're bringing him in here just to show you, like, life doesn't have to be that hard, right? Life doesn't have to suck so bad. And with just some changes, you can really, really, really have incredible results really fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I'm making things are fun again. Work's fun again. Um, Everything I do, I can find fun, and I'm actually, considering doing a 5K race after our busy season, right after our busy season.
Yeah,
So,
so that's another stat, right? So you went from 0K and now you're doing 5Ks on your own time.
yeah,
That's, and talk about that. I mean, like, before you could barely walk a half mile, now you're pulling out a 5K.
yeah. I mean, that first half mile, I was like, I don't, I live out truly not just being in Kansas, but it's pretty desolate. My nearest neighbor, as the crow flies, is a mile away, at least. So if I go for a walk and something happens, I got to figure out how to go back there. I can't grab a bus. I can't, unless somebody happens to drive by, I'm pretty much out there. I was like, okay, I walked the first quarter mile. Like, that's a long way back. My, like I said, my hips were hurting, my back was hurting, my knees were hurting, and you know what? I got to get this weight off. I got to do it. So I went back and I thought I'll just do a little bit more each day, and now I worked up and stuff. And instead of doing it all at once, I try to do it twice a day now when I have time.
And
And
so,
and the other thing, I've learned how to get the time back, because since I'm not in that fog, I get my stuff done a lot more. And not sitting there going, how am I going to get this done? Spending a half hour doing this, just jump in and do it. And so I'm starting to gain the time back to do the health thing, and it's just been I've got the momentum rolling, and it's just been great.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And again, guys, this is, it's big lifestyle changes. It's the mental fatigue, the physical fatigue, working on all of that. And you're not having to pop ibuprofen when you wake up in the morning, are you?
I have not, no, for weeks I have not taken anything like that.
So that's awesome. So you're waking up like energized, you're feeling stronger, you're more
Yep,
excited, you're not in pain, your hips are feeling better, your arthritis is feeling better, right?
yep,
Okay. All by just a lot of these changes that we made. I mean, this is fantastic. So we've got from 309 to 279 in 8 weeks. We've got from 86 resting heart rate down to what you just said, 58.
yes.
We've gone from 0K to 5K, and and we're not done yet. And so let's talk about that. Chad, when we first started chatting, I know, he knows about us and how we love Spartan races and obstacle racing and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. And another thing I thought was really interesting is, like, your confidence was so bad that you wouldn't even have your picture taken.
No. I was so ashamed of how bad I let myself get. I
Right. And
mean,
and now and now and now he's sending us selfies all the time. It's
yeah.
it's fantastic. And he's on video camera right now, right, doing this interview. And so, talk about your confidence. Like, how's that happening? What's going on inside your head?
Well, it's just like, okay, I mean, I've got the ball rolling, and I mean, it's not something to be proud of that I let myself slip that bad, but I'm like, okay, look at this. I can do this, and I actually feel good enough. At least, I've learned what's all in a Spartan race, or learning, I guess. I haven't ever seen one. I've just kind of thought, that ain't that bad. I actually have a side deal. My hobby is raising livestock. So one of the first pictures I sent Adam and Ellie is I said, do they have a baby calf carry in Spartan races? Because we had really horrible weather and this poor little guy couldn't get warmed up. So I was carrying this 90-pound calf to the pickup to let him get warmed up. And Adam goes, no, but we do have there's some carrying contests in there. So
There's some
you,
bucket carries, yeah. I'm like, you're not gonna have a problem if you're carrying a 90-pound cow to your truck so he can warm up and getting him to where he needs to be. That's absolutely fantastic. And what's some other things that are going on in your life that are just like you're like, I can't believe this is happening.
well, I mean, okay, work's going a lot better, stuff, and I'm getting put. I was kind of avoided on projects. I'm starting to get back on them,
Well, you told
and
me you said that you're like people are like looking to you for leadership positions now. Like you went from the guy who was like, everybody leave the room when Chad walks in. He's bringing all the negative energy. Now you're bringing positive energy, and you've actually are
right.
taking like a leadership role.
Yeah, since I've done this a while, I'm helping the new people so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. Learn about soil health, just product knowledge, and how to help customers and do the right thing with the environment. So, because there was a big skip where people didn't learn integrated pest management, and integrated pest management means do not use anything unless you absolutely have to rescue a crop. So,
Right.
at Mother Nature, and that's got kind of a lost art there for a little bit. So they're looking for the people that were. I was one of the last ones trained in it. So
All right. So
stuff.
that's
So
really yeah. So you've gone from sucking the energy away from the room to putting energy into the room. So that's really cool.
yeah,
That's absolutely phenomenal. And you were actually like, yeah, I think I found a Warrior Dash over in Topeka or something like that. I can't remember where you were.
Pekin one in Oklahoma.
I one in Oklahoma, and then you like, I think I found a 5K, my first 5K I'm going to do, and you sent that to me last night. It's actually a fundraiser, so that's really cool
Yep,
that you're going to get out there and get that down. And so you're walking further. Your cravings for junk have gone. The stress eating is gone. The drinking is gone. The coping is
yep,
gone. The need for stress management is gone. The ibuprofen is gone. The weight is going. Right.
yep,
We still got some time to work, but we know it's happening, and it's just really cool to see how fast it's coming off, but in a very healthy way. Right.
yep,
In a very sustainable, like this is going to be permanent. This isn't going to be a short-term solution here. And your productivity at work is off the charts, and you're not afraid of losing your job anymore. And people, and like your massage therapists, are like, wow, you're much more pleasurable to be around in your family. So that's fantastic.
yep.
And what would you say to people out there who are dealing with burnout and have the same type of fatigue? Some people have weight gain. A lot of times people will not be able to eat when they're so burned out, so they'll have weight loss or they'll have hair loss.
Yep.
What would you tell them?
Well, I just tell everybody they need to um, reach out to you guys and move things smile, you and Elliot, because we got to know some other people in the group. And we all have different things we need to work on, and you've tailor made that for each person. And I think there's not necessarily one thing that might work for me may not work for the other person or whatever. You not it's not that it's total, but you just need to tweak it a little bit. And I think that tailor-made approach really has made a big difference for me.
Yeah, and we were. I mean, in the accountability. I mean, one thing we were there is like anytime Chad had a question, like, I mean, we were there, right?
Yes, you guys always got back with me and then you're going like, well, you're thinking this way. Well, why don't you try this? Do you know about this? And like I said, I'm very focused, so I'm not out in the world. I mean, Adam's actually had to help me, basically gave me a computer class or two to help. And, well, I didn't know about some of the stuff that could help me. And so we've done a lot, but and don't be afraid to do it alone just because you're thinking, man, I don't want to tell anybody that it's, these guys done great. And I'm so glad I reached out to them because I tried for quite a while to handle this on my own. And all I was doing was making it worse. It's kind of like when you get so frustrated, you just need to go get help because otherwise you're just going to keep breaking things. And so, no, you guys, I mean, it's awesome to help you guys give me in, like I said, and they help you the accountability. If somebody nags on me or harps on me, I just dig my heels in and I'm going to prove them wrong. And that's not the kind I do. It's a good guided accountability, and
Yeah.
that's very been worth a lot for me.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. What were some of the other things that you noticed that was really good? I mean, you finally took the time to invest in your health,
Yes,
right? You finally decided to invest in your health. And I thought that was really, really awesome because you're putting so much focus on everything outside of you.
right. I mean, I figured I was tough enough to do this really hard and get everything rolling, and then everything had fallen into place. And then no, it was just getting worse, and it got to the point that what I was going to lose all the stuff I invested in outside of myself because I
Yeah.
wasn't taking care of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have customers that prefer to work with my coworkers now because of it, and we were good friends. They were good customers and almost friends before, but I was just an ass to be around. Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
And so your final goal with the weight, right, is to get
Down to 200.
down to 200. And we know we're going to do it. So we've got 79 to go.
Yep.
30 down, 79 to go. And pretty soon we're going to have to send him another smaller shirt, right?
Right.
And you're going to take a trip out there and replace those suspenders with a new pair of jeans.
Yes, I am.
That's freaking awesome. That is awesome. Chad, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been real positive, and it's so awesome to see how you've had such amazing progress in such a short period of time.
Well, and I want to thank you guys for helping me do that. I mean, like I said, I tried lots of different things, and nothing. I never could quite get it, and I never could quite. I needed that helping hand to get up, and I appreciate all you guys done for me because I mean, I was getting pretty desperate, and I was starting to think some pretty dark thoughts at times too. And so you guys have helped me a bunch, and I really, really appreciate what you really have done for me. Thank you.
You're oh man, you're more than welcome. We like to pride ourselves on using strategies that are not conventional, right? Modern health science, modern thought science, modern mental health, physical health, the whole thing. And just to see what's happening to Chad. And what's really cool is, Chad and I are really, really close in age. And, we grew up in the same time period and we like the same music, which is awesome. Have you watched that Motley Crue documentary yet? It's freaking
Not
cool.
yet.
Oh yeah, it's good. Okay. And we both love motorcycles. And I think one of the things that just really excited about me, when you told me what your ultimate goal is, and what is that?
I want to take a motorcycle trip to South America because then I can ride through the Andes, I can ride through the Amazon rainforest, and I can ride along the coast too. And that's all one. And that's been something ever since I was a little kid. Um, I'd read where the guy rode from Canada to the tip of South America, excerpts in magazines that my cousins had given me because some of my family were really into motorcycles then. And so I wanted that's a goal of mine. And I did not, I was in such bad shape. Even if I would have went taken it, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I'd have been it'd have been miserable just my physical condition. So I want to, going through that high in the Andes, I want to be in shape so I can enjoy it, not worried about catching my breath.
Right. So you probably don't know. So on your shirt, on your sleeve, what does it say?
May the course be with you.
May the course be with you, because we're all about conquering. We think life is a course, and obstacles are always going to be in the way. But I've got a very special one for you because we both love adventures. I don't know if you can see mine. Adventure
Oh,
coaching.
yes, that's awesome.
So that's what we're about, guys. We're about really helping you take basically start getting out of life as much as you've been putting in.
Yeah.
Is an easy way to put it. And if you're dealing with anything that Chad's been dealing with and you'd like to reach out and just chat, go to movethinksmile.com/talk. The link's right there. You'll schedule a time with either Ellie or myself, and we'll talk to you personally. These calls are free, and we'll get right to the heart of it. We're going to dive in and figure out what's exactly causing all the stress in your life, the burnout, the fatigue, the anxiety. We're going to, chat about what you've tried to fix it with and what hasn't worked. And then, we'll come up with a game plan on what you can do to actually, start turning your burnout into a badass life. And anybody who can go from 309 with the goal of getting to 200, and we know that's going to happen very fast, within the before the end of the year for sure, and is going to go down to Ecuador and jump on a motorcycle and ride through the Andes Mountains coast to coast. If that's not badass, I don't know what is. All right. So that's our ultimate goal, guys. Chad's going to be back. We're going to talk with him, later on when when we got to give him another couple shirt sizes smaller. And super, super excited to see this progress. Super, super excited to have you as part of the tribe. The energy you bring to everybody there and you showed up. And the cool thing is, Chad, you showed up willing to try new ways. You showed up coachable. You showed up decisive. You didn't know what to do, but where you didn't want to be anymore, right?
Right. Yeah, I had no clue what to do. Nothing I done worked, and so I was kind of like a babe in the woods, just going, "Okay, I'm lost. I need some help. Get me pointed in the right direction." So, and you guys did great at that. So,
And it's worked really, really well. And I'm fairly certain that we're going to catch up at the starting line on a Spartan race in the next 12 months somewhere. So my goal is to jump in and travel your way. And I would think a Spartan race in Kansas would be a heck of a lot easier than it would be in the mountains. It's pretty flat, but I think you got more hills than that's what's going through my mind.
we've got some hills, but they're not super huge like a mountain. So,
Right. So coming at you literally from the middle of Kansas, everybody says that it's a cliche. Chad Deines, agronomist, farmer consultant, taking burnout by the horns, turning it into just a badass life, energetic, feeling great, getting rid of the pills, relatively pain-free. The arthritis is going away. Pretty soon he's going to get off those medications for his commercial driver's license. And guys, if you'd like to talk about maybe how we can help you do the same thing, please go to movethinksmile.com/talk. It's free. You've got nothing to lose. And, if we're a good fit, we can talk about that. And if not, we can point you in the right direction of where you can get some help. Chad, you've got any other parting shots before we take off?
yeah, people just don't be. You don't have to be miserable. I mean, life's too short. You can be happy and stuff, and don't delay on trying to get some help and get things rolling.
Yeah, life doesn't life
Earlier.
yeah, life doesn't have to be so hard, does it, Chad?
No, it does not.
No, it does not. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you soon with the next live episode where Ellie and I will be here discussing some pretty cool stuff. We got a couple ideas in the pipeline for this week, and we will see you soon. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.